Hi everyone. So I'm very excited to show you the ham radio go box solar generator anybody can build with no tools. And that's the exciting part about it. Now this is yes, a lunchbox from Yeti. Beautifully designed. The material is way nice. Um, I want to say even waterproof. Heavy zippers, handles. It has two handles on the side, one handle over here on probably the top. It measures, I believe, around 11 inches by close to 8 3/4, and then the depth is about 4 3/4. That's the outside part. Okay, let's turn it around. Let's see what's inside. So here's the handle, right? Keep that in mind because I know where the handle is where the radio is. And we have the IC-705 right here. Let's take out the radio first. Radio is covered with a nice little bag so nothing will scratch. Okay, a little bit dirty there, but you have a cover and then the radio. Of course, the radio is the number one thing. Radio has a battery built into it and only gives me 5 watts. QRP. All right, what else do we have in here? We have the antenna, which is another important part of the radio, with its transformer. Now this is a end-fed half-wave antenna. I built this one from QRP guys. Relatively easy to build. It has a string here so that I can tie my end-fed to something, maybe the edge of a table or something, and then you can connect the antenna here, goes out, and this antenna resonates at 40, at 20, and also at 10. So no tuner whatsoever. And you don't need a ground. Usually you don't need a ground. I've never used a ground on an end-fed half-wave. And on the other side, this one has a BNC, so I have a patch cord here, and then fits the BNC here, and then on the other side, BNC goes on the radio. So that's invaluable right there. Of course, you have your speaker and microphone, which I really don't like. It's really bulky, but cool thing about it, it's long. You can put it on a table. You can be sitting down comfortably. That is something that is nice about it, but it's kind of bulky. It has a lot of wire. Okay, now to deploy the wire, you can use one of these weights. This is a Weaver 14 ounce. You can connect a cord here and then throw it on a tree. Paracord is not here. Believe it or not, for the end fed, even on this end fed, I've sloped it at 5 feet, so you don't really need this weight. Also, I have the power cord if I want to connect to an external battery. In this case, it's the Bioenno 3 amp battery, so I can connect that to this if I wanted to. But technically, this is all I really need. Now let's talk about the solar generator piece, right? So I'm going to be using the Buddy Pole Power Mini. This thing is invaluable. So the Buddy Pole Power Mini is a solar controller. That's its main function. Basically, you connect your battery, which I love. These are color coded. It tells you right here also if it says battery or solar. So the battery, you connect the battery to it. That's how you power the Buddy Pole power mini. Now the solar controller, what it does, it charges the battery, manages the battery. So if it's topped off, it'll make sure it's not charged anymore through a solar panel. And this right here is where you connect the solar panel, and I'll show you the solar panel in a minute. But that's where you would connect that. Then it has a USB port, and I have a lightning cable, so I can charge my tablet or my phone. This is cool. We can do that if we need to. And then on the other side of the Power Mini is we have two Anderson power poles that I can connect, one to the radio and another device if I have to. This small little battery here, which is the Bio-NO 3 amp, will keep this powered for 6 hours, maybe 5 hours, but enough juice is in here to give you 10 watts. Now, so this is the buddy pole. I have a cable here that will connect to the Power Mini so that I can use the solar panel. And that, my friends, is in here. It is that compact. Now, yes, this is 5 watts. And this is approximately 24 inches by, I forget how wide it is. Almost 10, yeah, a little past 10. 10 and a quarter by 24. Now, you might think that a small little panel like this is not enough, but believe it or not, it gives more than 350 amps if you have it angled properly to the sun. The radio only when you just have it turned on, and of course, you know, the brightness needs to be lowered, and no Bluetooth, and some other like WAN not turned on. You'll see that the radio only draws in about less than 300 milliamps. And if you have this that's pointing at the sun, and it has to be, you know, pointed, not laying on the ground, but pointed towards the sun, you'll see that it gives you more than 350 milliamps. So it's enough to power the radio through, of course, through the battery. When you transmit, you're transmitting at about less than 3 amps, like 2.5 amps, 2.6 amps, when you're transmitting at 10 watts. So definitely the battery is able to handle that, and you're not constantly transmitting, so you're not draining the battery as fast. So you have the ability to power your device through this solar panel. There are different sizes, like the 10 watt one would be great if you can purchase that one. And this one's not very expensive. And then the cable, one thing about the cable that I want to talk about, why is it so long? Well, when you're in the field, you're usually in the shade. You don't want to be in the sun, because you don't want your radio to be too hot when you're using it. So if you're in the shade, you want your solar panel to be in the sun. So you need something long to deploy it. Okay, now internally, it's about 10 by close to 8, maybe. It stretches out a little bit, of course. Very compact. Now, one thing that I like to do when I have the radio, I like to put the radio facing this way where the handle is. And, I can put the cover on it. So when I carry it, I know that that's where the screen is all the time. Now, can you put it in a different position? Yeah, you can put it in a different position. Thing is, it's a little bit harder to put the solar panel. You could lay it down. I mean, there's different ways of putting. There's different orientations that you can utilize. But I've noticed that it's pretty straightforward when you do this. So let's see if we can put it back together. So we cover it. I like this this cover. It's really soft. Solar panel goes right there. I like that we should disconnect this so it won't drain any power. I like that I have the rubber bands. These are bongo ties. They come in a pack of 10. Right. Bongo ties. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll take out the wood part, and the rubber bands are awesome. So I keep 2 rubber bands on this so it won't slide as much. So put that there. And then I'll put the wire over here. And I can put my USB cable over here. Cool thing about this is that it won't scratch the surface of the radio. Then my end fed can go over here at this corner here, and you have the patch cable. Patch could be on the top, or it could be over here in the middle. Then you have your cord. This cord that's wrapped, I made sure to make it almost 6 inches. I think it was 7 inches, way too long. Now it fits nicely. Everything fits in line. This right here, this thing is probably a little bit too long. I'm probably going to cut it. Leave one of the fuses probably. I don't need 2. And then this will be more convenient in size. We'll see. I mean, I'm not really liking that as much. And then this is annoying. If you know of a better way of storing a microphone speaker, tell me, because that's one of the annoying things I don't like about. Of course, you can use your AirPods, but then again, you would have to charge your AirPods. And then your weight, right? You can put your weight right there. Wow. And if you have a pocket knife, I guess you could put the pocket knife here too, right? Wow. That's awesome. Look at that. Perfect. And it's ready to go. I know that here, right here is where the screen is. So I gotta make sure that when I put stuff on it, I don't put a lot of pressure here. This will fit in my backpack very easily, or it can just be right here on the table somewhere. If there's an emergency, boom, take it with me, and I have a complete, full solar generated, call it power box, ham radio box, all in one, ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider giving it a thumbs up, or even subscribe. This is Frank, Whiskey Charlie, 0 Oscar.